Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gamer's Ledge. I'm normally one of your hosts, Mark, but tonight I am the DM. And where we left off on the last episode, the Menagerie had just dispatched the spirit of Mama Ozma from Troll Skull Manor, only to find a spirit now congratulating them in the bar on having done so. Due to technical issues, the last session that we played actually was not recorded properly, but in that episode, the group found out that not only had Zakusu's father figure Asos been watching over him and training him, but that he had been compelled to do so by Ozma. At the same time, Asos's real name was Krenko, but he also had other names, and was the father of Atali as well, but forced to leave Atali by Ozma's compulsion. The group also received a call to join a new faction, the Emerald Enclave, to which Quark did. And while visiting, they learned of someone at the City of the Dead requesting assistance with a potential necromancer, and none of the other factions in the city had responded to assist. The Menagerie had set out towards the City of the Dead, and I believe that is where we left off. Unless anyone else has further input on that, I will switch over and we can all say hi to the Menagerie this evening. Starting in the top left, Sean, he had to step away. He'll be back in a few minutes. So you get to start tonight, Arturo.
Hello, my name is Arturo. I'm playing Brand, the Warforged Cleric.
My name's Daniel, and I'm playing Zakusu, the Yonti monk.
Hi, my name's Matt, playing the Aarakocran Ranger Quark.
Hello, my name's JR. I'm playing the Asmar Bard Itali.
Hello, my name's Ben. I'm playing Orwin, the Loxodon fighter.
And it is at that point, as you all start to set out, that you hear the familiar thump, and Methelus has been sucked into the spark, along with Leonardo, I believe. That sounds right. But they're in the spark now, for sure. So, what were your plans? What were you... The night is yours. What were you going to do at this point?
I think Quark had gathered everybody up and we were ready to head out to talk to the guard at the City of the Dead. The night guard, because we had to wait till the night.
And we went back and made sure we all had long rests, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I think it wasn't just Quark that joined the Emerald group, because I remember I joined the group, and I think Arturo also joined the group.
Oh, great.
Brand did, and yeah, Atali as well.
Perfect. All right. Then from there, all right. I'm making note of that. Got it. Where else? Or what else? Or did you guys actually do a long rest? I didn't think you had yet. I thought you thought about.
I had thought we went back specifically and had done the long rest, and then we were on our way back out when you called it.
Okay, that's probably the case. I'd go back and look at the episode, but oh wait, sorry, I'm not better. So great.
I think we acquired a dragon egg for hatching. You can't check the last episode.
No, that I'm sure you didn't. I did say that you guys all had something that I don't quite have ready for you yet. So you did get something. Those of you that joined did get something from the Emerald Enclave. She gifted you a charm, and I will let you know what those do a little bit later.
Okay.
So we were.
Yeah, we actually. I wrote it down. We did do a long rest right before we did the RP that went in. So,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So
we're heading towards the City of Bones to talk to the Night Watchman.
Yes, you are. That is the correct case. So it will take you about a 20-minute walk to the south to get there from where you are currently. And as you reach the area, you eventually find working in the evening, making sure there we go. Zoom in on you guys. The 5 of you that are currently here at the moment all arrive at the City of the Dead. You find a male human who is it looks like he just got back from patrolling the entirety of the City of the Dead, which is pretty expansive, and he's currently resting in a small shack that kind of serves as a gravekeeper's lodge. And you see him smoking a pipe. And you guys see him before he sees you, because he's in the shack. And I know you guys are on a map. We'll talk about that in a minute, but this is mostly Theater of the Mind, because this place is absolutely huge.
Was that little brown thing the shack?
No.
Is that the shack or is that just a rock?
No, that's a rock. The shack is not on this map. That's why
The shack is in the Theater of the Mind.
Correct.
Okay.
Gotcha. So there's only 4 people buried here.
That's telekinesis, Kyle. But yeah, he's in there smoking. He's got a little fireplace to warm his hands because it's getting a little chilly at night, and yeah.
So Quark, I guess, as the one of the emissaries, walk up to the shack. I mean, is it just like an open thing, or is there like a door to knock on, or what's?
I mean, there's a little
shack. What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's a shack. Like I would imagine, like picture an outhouse with a window carved into the side of it. And not quite that small, but that's the rough design of it. It looks like a slanted kind of.
It's a guard shack.
It's a guard shack.
It's a shanty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Quark will go up to the door and knock and
Thank you.
see if get the guard's attention.
Thank you.
Yep, he pops up really quickly and he looks out the window at the 5 of you, and he says, "What can I do you for?"
Hello, sir. We received notice that someone here in the City of the Dead had reported the possibility of there being a necromancer that required dealing with. Would you, sir, be that individual?
Who sent you exactly?
We're with the dadgummit Emerald something or other. Emerald Enclave. There we go. Yes, that's right.
That's right. I'm Ambrose Everdon. Nice to meet you.
Nice to make your acquaintance. So, necromancer. That's quite the thing to have in a grave area.
Well, that's just the running theory. I don't have any proof quite yet, but let me take you to where this is, and that'll kind of explain a little bit. And so if you guys move north on the map, you should be able to the center section where you can see
a coffin type thing.
Yeah, pine box. Just out of curiosity, can you guys see into the buildings?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to figure out that problem. Okay, it's fine. It doesn't matter. But he takes you up there and he points. There's a wooden sign that says Gregor Grimsby, and he says, "I actually didn't know the fellow, but I heard tales that this guy was not a fan of the gods," would be the best way to say that. He requested a plain coffin and a simple sign to save money for his family, yet give him peace that he passed. And you can see that it's the pine box, the sign has been torn apart, and the coffin is lying empty, dirt piled up around it.
Can I ask 2 questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
One, you're going to need to move the map for the stream.
That is true. Thank you.
And 2, for theater of the mind, can you describe what we're seeing in this area? Is it a room with one?
It is not. It is not a room. It's fully outside.
Okay.
So this is an outside small plot of land. There are a few other headstones here, but this is the only one that is been disturbed.
And you see a few like less than 6.
I would say there's probably 3 in this area total.
Oh wow. Okay, so this is small.
Yeah, it's small, and there doesn't seem to be any sign of disturbance from what you can see
On either of the other side.
Yeah, at first glance, for sure.
And it's tucked between 2 mausoleums.
Correct.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yep, you got it.
And can I get the name of the guy one more time? The name on the wooden sign?
Gregor Grimsby.
Have either of us ever heard that name before?
Doesn't sound familiar, but make a roll.
Okay.
Let's find out.
Okay. History?
Yes. No, you've never heard of him.
Nope. Well, wasn't that famous of a guy, I guess.
Okay. One more time. This coffin
Mm-hmm.
is still in the grave or has been dragged out of the grave?
It is still in the grave, however, it has been disturbed in a way that it's slightly propped out of the grave.
Okay. I don't want to take over. Can we see if there are any signs of a shovel, or if it looks like something broke out from the inside, or...
Great question. Roll me a survival check.
15.
Hard to tell. Roll me, and anybody else that's checking other than Zach, roll me investigation check.
Investigation. Oh, nope.
Okay. So Brand, because you've been around areas like this in the past, you do see that there's tattered clothes. You find a couple rotting scraps of flesh that have been left behind. And you notice that on the inside of the coffin, there are scratch marks.
I tell everybody, I think this man was raised from the dead while inside the coffin. And particularly what catches my attention is that they said that he wasn't a fan of the gods, which to me is absolute travesty. But, setting that aside, I just think it's interesting if that has anything to do with whatever happened or why he was chosen to be raised.
Mr. Everdon, how long has this fellow been expired?
Does it smell fresh?
He says that he'd been buried for probably 3 months, 2 to 3 months.
But does it smell like it was just dug up, or has it been sitting here for a while? Like, can we smell what was inside when it was opened?
Because it's sitting open to the air, there's not a whole lot of smell like that. And Ambrose says that this happened last night.
Okay.
That is when he was doing his patrols. That's when he noticed that this had happened, and he thinks it's a skeleton. He thinks he saw a skeleton.
A skeleton dig this guy up?
No, he thought he saw a skeleton leaving the cemetery.
Okay.
And how long ago was this guy buried?
He says about 3 months.
3 months. It doesn't make sense for a skeleton.
Well, did he get a lot of visits? Family? Anybody interested in him?
Not really. He like I said, I remember the service. Family came, and that was about it. And there were some people that scoffed about. Sorry, hold on one second.
Yeah.
Please stand by while we assess technical difficulties.
I gotta edit this episode already, anyways, so don't mind cutting that out. So sorry about that.
No problem.
Family's in town, so I can't avoid them.
Ah.
Okay. So I'm going to make the cut sign so I know cut here. There we go. All right, great. He says that it was a pretty austere service, and the family came. There were some people that attended that commented about the reserved nature of the request for burial. But that's about all he remembers from it.
Can you show us where you saw the skeleton, or where you think you saw the skeleton? Should like to investigate that area.
Okay. Yes. However, Daniel had made a roll before, and I wanted to tell him what he found, which was so what you noticed, Daniel, as you were kind of looking at the area around it, is that there are 2 sets of footprints.
Yeah, when he said he saw just the skeleton walking out, that was weird.
There's 2 sets of footprints.
Do both seem booted? I mean, this was a couple days ago.
Wait,
No,
we're
it was-
looking.
It was yesterday.
We're thinking this might be a necromancer, right?
Uh,
Obviously. Like that's what we were sent to investigate, right?
Yes. Well,
That's
that
what-
was Necromancer stealing parts. Yeah.
That's what Ambrose thought it was.
Okay. Can anybody detect magic? To see something was done here?
Nope, all those people are currently missing.
Dang.
That's funny. You're right.
I mean, we could give Brand that to power temporarily.
What's really frustrating is I actually just noticed a logical fallacy in the module, a contradictory set of two facts, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to play that. So the short answer is it looks like it was partially booted.
Both were? Or
No,
the
for the single set, the big one seemed partially booted.
So there are still 2 sets of footprints?
There,
Or was I mistaken and there's actually 1 set of footprints?
no, there are 2 sets of footprints.
Okay.
And looking at it, it's a much shorter pace and smaller shoe size.
Like how
Oh,
small?
interesting. Interesting. Are the smaller ones smaller than my hand?
Yes.
Okay. You said there were scraps of clothing, right, Brand? You found scraps of clothing?
I did. I could see them that they were still in the coffin, along with the scratch marks.
Zex can alert for another boot in the coffin.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you find like half of a heel of a boot.
Half of a heel? Oh, okay. So it fell off and he's wearing the rest of it?
That sounds
Sure.
like a great assumption.
For an intelligence of 12, that's what I'm putting together. And I'm going to place it in the boot print for the larger feet.
Mm-hmm.
And it matches up.
Looks like it, yeah.
I don't know why it wouldn't, but if I have puzzle pieces, I might as well use. Yeah, without magic, that's about all I can do until you can point me at something to punch.
Punch the ground till magic happens.
I wish it was that way.
What direction are the footprints heading in there, Zek?
And Zek will point along the path towards the exit.
Should we look other places to see if there's more that's disturbed other than this one place?
Since we, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that was it.
Okay. Since we now see the footprints, can we see an ingress and an egress, or do we only see the egress?
Oh, that's a good question.
So that is, I think, what this logical conundrum is in what I'm doing here, because it's like one set of footprints has no path, has no trail. I'm like, what? They're footprints. They have to have a trail. So that's exactly what it is it looks like the smaller, shorter paced ones lead to the grave, but then not away.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's my interpretation of what this is trying to say, and that makes sense in my head to a point.
So the gnome rode the skeleton out like a mount.
No.
To be the indication. Yeah.
The gnome went into the coffin and grew up.
Actually, is there a coffin in the gnome? I mean, in the wow.
This is not that movie.
Right, that reverse it.
Yeah. Is there a coffin? Wait, a gnome in the coffin?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
And that was no, not gnome.
Gnome.
No, of course I know him. He was my father.
Now, when was this the first time this has happened here, or did this happen before?
Well, every once in a while we come across grave robbers, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say for certain.
Okay.
There are several of us that work here on shift. I'm the first one to report one to the Emerald Enclave. So I can't say for any certainty whether they were discovered, etc.
Okay. Well, since we don't have our magic people, we just have fists. I think we're probably gonna have
I want to
wait.
move the coffin. I think we should move the coffin.
Okay.
There's got to be something under.
Sure, make me a strength check. Just click on strength, not the save.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
It's really heavy.
I should have known better.
It takes you a while, but you are able to move it, and there's nothing underneath it. I mean, dirt, but nothing that immediately jumps out and goes, there's a tunnel or anything like that. No, it's just where the coffin was sitting in the earth from your first glances.
Okay. So we can either spend the night and wait to see if it happens again, or try to find out where these little footprints are coming from.
Well, Orwin also suggested taking a look in the mausoleums, I think, or at other locations on the property.
You could do
like-
that. Do you want to take some time and do it as a group over a larger amount of area, or?
I think if we split up into two groups, we can check both mausoleums.
Well, the mausoleums are okay. The mausoleums are contained, so they are currently closed. Are you talking about checking the mausoleums or checking other parts of the City of the Dead, or what are you? What's the scope, I guess, of what you're
Can
wanting?
you describe the City of the Dead to us?
Yeah, the City of the Dead is
We get a better feel for
sure. So you're talking about probably a 2.5 square mile section of the city. It is a large, mostly open cemetery, but there are mausoleums and crypts and things of that nature as well. But it's basically like rolling hills for about 2.5 miles of just cemetery. And you guys are on the north side of it right
like
now.
Graceland Cemetery,
Yes.
where there's a bunch of mausoleums and statues and buildings, but like that are essentially larger mausoleums. But there's also huge areas of land that are just graves and tombstones. And
Correct. In fact, I would say more of the latter than the former. Like the mausoleums break up the landscape, but it's not like the cemetery in Paris where there's nothing but above ground mausoleums. It's not that. It's
Okay.
mostly open cemeteries with the occasional mausoleum or crypt.
if
And
you
that's it.
didn't know that they were mausoleums, this could not be mistaken for a small cement town.
No.
Okay, cool.
No.
Are we able to see these
Just
tiny
if-
footprints anywhere else?
So that's are you guys all looking as a group, or are
I
you
think
looking
that's-
individually?
That's what Mark was asking, is if we're going to be looking for those tiny footprints elsewhere, spreading out.
Well, how many, because this is kind of going to an entrance, right? So how many entrances are there really?
There are probably
Good question.
3 main entrances on the north, the south, and then the west.
Okay.
Let's go to each one
Can-
and see if we can see the footprints.
And can we, do the footprints go all the way to the entrance? Like we can find it at the entrance?
I'm going to say the entrance itself, no, but you probably I would say about here, which is 20, 30 feet to the south of where you are now, is where you can see those smaller footprints start to lead towards the grave.
Okay. How far away
As
from
they
the entrance
blend
are
in
we?
with the rest of the foot traffic.
Yeah, towards the entrance, yes, they blend in. Or have been covered up or trampled or something along those lines. So what I'm going to have everyone do then is roll me survival checks. I'm still missing somebody.
You're missing me.
Oh, Zach. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm
boy.
writing notes.
No, you're good. That's all right. That is exactly what you needed. So,
I needed to crit.
you needed to crit. So, with that being the case, you do find more of the footprints, but I do need to look at my map real quick. Give me 1 second.
It's the map. It's the map. It's the map.
It's the map. It's the map.
It's the map. Swiper, no swipe.
I'm not looking forward to that again.
The map?
Just the whole Dora, everything. Got to go through all that again.
Oh. Why am I not seeing the map? That's an issue. Okay, never mind. I'll find it on my interactive map. Give me 1 second. Two. Okay. Yeah, so I take it back. I told you slightly incorrectly. There are 3 exits, as I said, but they're actually the north, west, west, and southwest. And I am looking for exactly where you pick up these tracks. So give me just 1 second.
So they're all on the west side. So you said it was northwest, southwest, and west.
There's actually one to the south as well.
Oh, and the direct south.
Yep. Aha, I see. And that is actually where you find it. So this is not, I would not classify the south exit as a main exit to the graveyard, but it is a lesser used, smaller entrance and exit. But that is where you find another set of the footprints leading towards that southern gate. Which brings you
Heading inward or outward?
heading outward. And that brings you to Necromancer Street.
What's around this street?
So on this street is the League of Basket Makers and Wicker Workers.
Before we leave, Quark wants to ask the guard if there's a record, like where the person lived, like is there a registry of everyone in the graveyard somewhere that could be looked to find the family's information and stuff?
Yes, and he says he'll have it couriered over to you.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Carry on.
Are you good? So yeah, on that street, on Necromancer Street, you have the League of Basket Makers and Wicker Workers. You have the House of Cleanliness Guild Hall. You have Fenris Stormcastle's house. and you have Dandy Mop's, what do they call that? Dandy Mop's haberdashery.
Okay.
That's
If
mostly what's on the street right there. There's also Quill Alley in that area, Slipstone Street, but that's like the biggest. Oh, and the House of Textiles, sorry, which is another guild hall,
okay.
which is the guild hall of the most excellent order of weavers and dyers.
Okay.
Which I wish I was making all this up, but I am not.
Now, is there anything here like is this like a dirt road here?
Where?
Like on this little road?
Necromancer
the
Street?
that we're on.
No,
Yeah.
it's an actual street.
Oh dang! So we can't follow footprints here.
No, but you can see that the footprints go right up to the southern. So let me see if I can explain this properly and detailed enough. When you go through the southern exit, there are basically 1, 2, 3, 4 different directions that you can go. You could go left or right. There's 2 angled streets, and then there's the one that leads to Necromancer Street. And from the angle of the footprints, it looks like it goes down Necromancer Street.
Okay.
Sounds
Gonna
like
go
that's where we
down-
need to go.
Yeah, gonna go down that road.
So it is a fairly, I wouldn't say it's super busy, but because this is there are guild halls here, there is a little more traffic than you would see on certain areas of the city, especially since you have 2 guild halls here. No, 3 guild halls total.
What time of day is it?
Right now, it's probably, you guys went in the evening, so it's probably 8 o'clock. So it's not as busy as you would imagine it is during the day, but there's still people moving back and forth, coming out of the guild halls, going in.
Is it dark?
I'd say just a hair past dusk.
Do all the buildings look like they have activity or lights?
Not all of them. The Fenris Stormcastle's house doesn't seem like it's got anybody coming in or out of it. Dandy Mops looks like it's closed, but there are people working inside of it.
Can
And
you
it,
see the people working inside of it?
sure. Make me a perception check.
Let's see.
These are
No.
guild halls with these names?
Some of them are guild halls, yes.
Dandy Mops,
No, Dandy Mops is a haberdashery.
Haberdashery, and Fenris.
Fenris Stormcastle is a individual that has a house.
Yeah, it's a house. Fenris Stormcastle's house.
I heard Fenris house, but didn't know it was an actual like house.
Yeah, Fenris Stormcastle's house. It's a well, Itali could tell you. Maybe.
Could he though?
Depends how well he rolls.
Yeah.
He focuses more on making fun of the bird though. I don't know if he actually knows this town.
Well, let's see.
Nope.
No, I don't know.
Nope.
anything
Nope,
about
he has
it.
no idea who Fenris Stormcastle. He just knows that's his house.
Everybody
Speak-
knows the Stormcastle house.
That's right.
Speaking of being a bird, I haven't
Hey.
done this since we've been in here, but maybe I should just. What's the highest point here? Is it one of the guild halls? Probably.
Yeah, probably. I would say it's probably the House of Cleanliness Guild Hall.
Before you do that, can you take a look in this building and see if there's any little people here?
I guess I can look. How little are we talking about here?
Maybe like gnome size.
So, yeah, Itali, you had a hard time looking through the windows. The lights outside, inside were making it difficult. Quark, you look in, you see there are several people working inside the haberdashery, but you do notice that there is a halfling working behind the counter as well.
Okay. The only I see there's a halfling working behind the counter. That seems to be it.
Halflings are pretty small people. What's a haberdashery? Like, what exactly do they do?
Clothing store.
Hats, wigs.
For gentlemen.
Yes, gentlemanly type apparel.
I had to Google that. I'll admit.
You know, let's just ask this little person some questions. Let's see, they're closed, right?
They are. The sign does say closed.
I'm gonna knock on a door.
Brandel just busted down if you want.
We're not at that point yet, but if they don't answer, then yeah, let's do that.
Absolutely. Unleash the priest.
One of the other people that like looks over and then points to the sign that says that they're closed.
I'll knock again. Is the sign on the inside or the outside?
It's on the inside.
Okay. Yeah, I'll knock again.
All right.
Maybe you should show them your charm because you're here on official business.
Yes. So it's a I would say middle-aged. She's got lines of gray in her hair. Human woman. She comes to the door and she has a small pair of spectacles on her face, and she peers through the door and sees you standing there, and then points to the sign and mouths, "We're closed."
I'm gonna mouth back, I can't read.
She stands there for a second and moves to turn to walk away.
I'll knock again louder.
She stops two steps away from the door. She turns around. She quickly opens a couple of the locks, but you can see as she pulls the door open, there's still a chain on it.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "I'm sorry, we're closed.
What time do you open?
We'll be open at first light."
First light. Oh man, that's really late. I really need to buy some hats right now for our group. We have an event tonight at the Troll Skull Manor and we need some hats. I'm sure you can just let this slide just this one time. I mean, it's an emergency. It's a fashion emergency. Look at my bird friend here. Nobody wants to see that face.
She blinks and then pushes her glasses up so she can see, and sees you are actually a bird person. She says, "One moment," and she closes the door and relocks it. And you can see she goes and talks to the halfling for a moment, and eventually there's a nod, and she comes back and she unlocks the door for you.
I'll motion for everybody to come join me.
What type of headwear are you looking for this evening?
You know, what kind of headwear do you have?
Well, she motions, and there are fake, not heads, but mannequin type heads that have top hats, berets. There are powdered wigs on display. There are tiaras. There are I mean, pretty much any kind of fancy headwear is what you would see here.
Oh, is there a
Go ahead.
Is there what?
powdered wig is there a wig that fits me?
Fits is a hard thing to say. Would it go on top of your head and stay? Perhaps.
Aren't you covered in hair?
Well,
Yes.
that too, but a powdered wig never hurts your genteel appearance.
That's right.
The
So,
I like to think that the ones you're finding are like the British, like
oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
yeah, no, that's legit what this shop sells. In fact, you see that there are more powdered wigs than just about anything else. So you're guessing that this guy is probably this shop is probably that's what they're known for. But they do also have plenty of fine hats as well.
Cool. You know what? I'm just gonna pick up the first top hat and try it on. You know what? I think a top hat would look great on me. Like, and I'll look to the store owner. Wouldn't you say? Like, you probably been here forever. You probably have a good taste in clothes. So
Make me a perception check.
perception.
Yeah, so you see that the halfling is in the middle of making a powdered wig.
Mhm.
And he looks up, but you can tell even with that roll that he looks tired. Like, and he's like, "Yes, I've been here a long time. That top hat looks fantastic on you."
Long night.
Long week.
Long week. Oh man, making powdered wigs are really takes a lot out of you, I imagine.
Well, to be quite honest, it's what we're known for. So the demand never lets up.
Gotcha.
A lot
I
of
spend a lot of times indoors, huh?
lots of times making wigs. But I do say, you know what? He takes the hat off your head, and he actually has a little ladder specifically for that. That's behind the bar where you were standing. He climbs up, grabs the hat off your head. He says, "I don't think this is the right one," and he goes off to the left side of the store, and he comes back with a gray top hat with a band of white at the bottom, and he puts it on your head, and it actually looks
That matches my skin tone,
and
probably.
it fits much better as well.
I like this hat. While he's doing that, does he have like dirt on his shoes?
Not that you can see.
Not that I can see.
Yeah,
Okay.
doesn't look like it.
You know-
While that's going on, Quark's going to look at the ladder actually for the same thing. See if there's like any perception or investigation or anything. I'm trying to do it nonchalantly, so.
Yeah, so do a So first roll me a stealth check. That's going to be the easiest way to do that.
Okay.
And then after that, roll a perception check. So you were looking at the step stool?
Yeah, the step stool and the area around it. See if there was mud on his shoes or assuming he's wearing shoes.
Stand by one.
Okay.
I would say that you don't notice anything on or around the step stool. However, you do notice a very small amount of dirt leading towards one of the back rooms.
Hmm.
You know, I'm interested in this hat. How much is this hat?
He says that hat would be 4 gold pieces.
4 gold pieces? You know, that's a good price. You know what? Hold on to this. I'm gonna keep chopping around and, you know, see what else we can find for the night. I really appreciate you letting us in.
Very well. It's not something we do normally, but as you said, if you have an event this evening and it's an emergency, we want you to look your best.
Yeah, will do. Thank you. And then I'll go kind of join the group. Like, and kind of,
You look dapper.
look. Was that?
You look dapper.
Thank you. You know what? I think this is a really good place to come for the event. You know, I get the feeling that everything we're looking for is just at this place. Like, everything we're looking for is here.
Quark's going to go over to Zek and quietly tell him about the dirt he saw leading to the storeroom.
Oh,
And-
I didn't make that clear.
Oh,
Coming out of the storeroom.
coming out of the storeroom. Okay. Okay. Same discussion though. And I guess I'll actually try and role play it here. Not that I would ever want to impose upon you or bring up this, but you do have a singular particular talent for being able to get into places. Most unpleasant to make this request, but since we are trying to keep a low profile here, would you be willing to try to, assuming you can still do that, can you still do that? I don't know what's going on with you after everything, but anyway.
I'm not sure either. Does the door to the storeroom does it look like it has a gap underneath it?
Sure.
Zach is going to. I mean, this isn't a large room, right?
I mean, are you talking about the room you're in? I mean, it's a storefront. It's a pretty. Oh, you know what? Here, this will make things easier.
Is there a dressing room?
There is a dressing room. You know what? I don't know if I have you guys in it or not. So if it's a totally black screen, let me know.
I can see.
Okay. Zach is going to.
So does this help at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you guys are all in the center here. The halflings here, the others are kind of flitting around, and then this is the door to the storeroom in the back right, and there is a dressing room back over here.
Okay. Zach is going to take a jacket,
Mhm.
a nice jacket,
Mhm.
and go into the changing room,
Mhm.
and he's going to change into a snake and go back over the stores.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me a stealth check with advantage, since you are a snake. But the other two are walking around. So you make it to about here, and one of the women that works in the store starts to round the corner here, and right as she turns towards you, you hear a thump from the blue Stark, and Methelus, you are now standing in a very fine haberdashery.
Oh, I love fine haberdasheries.
And the woman that was here actually lets out a gasp and and rushes over to this side and comes up to you, Methless, and says, "I'm so sorry. Were you there the whole time? I don't remember. I heard a strange noise."
I'm not usually one for making strange noises, my lady.
I'm
but-
sorry. I did not mean it that way.
Just give that dude some beans and
Are you finding everything all right, sir?
I love my new surroundings, so I assume I may find things quite right.
Very
By
good.
the way, where am I again? Other than this fine haberdashery I seem to see.
I'll let them know. I'll, let them know like, hey, we are here for hats. We need hats for this fancy event we got tonight over at the Troll Skull Manor.
We're throwing an
Yeah.
event?
We are throwing an event.
Oh,
We're
I'm
throwing,
so excited for an event.
I thought so, and here we are. I figured this would be your kind of place. They have great hats. The halfling or this person over here at the front, he's been here for a long time, and let me tell you, he has a great taste and style, and will find us everything we need.
Is he a regular hatter or a mad hatter?
He
I don't know, a tired hatter, I guess.
You hear a very faint chuckle from his general direction.
But I mean, all hatters must be mad.
Well, he looks up and says, "We're all mad here."
Yes.
Daniel, you slither through the crack in the door unnoticed. It is a small room that appears to be storage, bolts of cloth. There's a couple more rooms that lead off from it, but what you do notice is that there is a trapdoor in the center of this room. You're on mute.
Do I see the dirt that Clark was mentioning? Now that I'm very close to it.
Yeah, and it comes from the trapdoor leading out, surprisingly.
And the trapdoor is pretty fit in the frame.
It's what?
Fit in the frame. Like there's not a gap in the frame.
No, you would have to actually open it.
Which is why it didn't make a difference. Because you're a jerk.
I'm not a jerk. I didn't do that.
Feel like
Can I try to push the trapdoor up and squeeze into it
Sure. Give me a strength check.
with disadvantage?
No.
Oh wow.
Although I am a jerk, so yes.
So yes?
No, I'm just it's fine. Go. Just harassing you back.
I mean it's there.
You manage to get enough of a purchase that you can pry open just the very end of it and squeeze through. So it's a little like realigns your back as you do it, but yes, you can do it.
It's nicer than I would have been. Get caught halfway.
There is a set of wooden rung stairs leading down at just a slight angle.
Okay. Yeah, I'll head down into the basement.
Okay. You head down into the basement. You have dark vision, right?
I do.
Okay, good. You find that there's more storage down here, more bolts of fabric, things like that. But you also find that there is an entrance to the sewer.
So the floor here is like cobblestone, like the basement floor everywhere, right?
Correct.
Because we're on top of mazes and mazes and mazes and mazes
Right.
of sewers.
Right.
Okay, so there's an entrance to the sewer. Is it like the other entrances to the sewers that we've seen before?
No. This is a full and it's been you can tell it's been used recently.
Oh.
So it is actually like a door more than a grate or something along those lines. It's a full on door, but it has a hole in the center so you can see that it leads into the sewer proper.
Okay. And it looks like the dirt comes from the sewer door up the stairs and...
Yep.
And the storage down here is all what looks like normal haberdashery. I've never been to a haberdashery, but normal, what I would expect.
Yeah, bolts of cloth and, yarn and
Hat
strings.
and
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Scary man.
There's a pile of severed mannequin heads in the corner.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Zach makes his way back upstairs, and then he'll attempt to push the door open from below to squeeze out.
Make me a strength check. Yeah, the problem is that the stairs go to the back of the trap door, and you're trying to leverage open the front. It's not working so well.
Zach will.
But after a while,
okay.
you get it. It's just you're not going to get it on the first try. It takes you
Yeah.
a while, but you get it.
And then I'll walk back out and go back to the changing room.
You'll walk back out, or you'll
No,
slither
slither.
back. Okay.
I'll hop.
Make me a stealth check with advantage again.
Wow.
Before I talk about that, what are the rest of you doing?
Trying on suits.
I want to find a wig that I can keep on my head. Proper.
How did they swap places?
It's because Arturo disconnected, and then
Oh, okay.
yeah, so I just got to swap them. There we go. I noticed it when he disconnected.
Like, whoa, what?
So, all right. So here's what. So you're talking with the halfling about that. He says that he can take multiple wigs and sew them together because they do not have one that will fit. Like your head's huge.
But will it make me look distinguished?
Oh, by the time we're done, 1,000%.
How much is that going to cost?
Normally, I charge 5 gold per powdered wig. However, since you're technically buying in bulk, I would be willing to do all of it for, say, 17 gold.
Sounds great.
Give me a few minutes, and he starts darning a bunch of wigs together. So that's what you're doing. Brand, what are you doing?
I am currently witnessing a cat fight in real life. But what Brand is doing, I'm trying to find any more tracks of the dirt to see if I can see it go anywhere else.
Make me a perception check then.
Yep. Oop.
Other than what Quark pointed out, you are not finding any evidence of any further types of dirt or mud or anything along those lines. But you're actively searching for that right now. Itali, what are you doing?
Trying on suits.
Oh, trying on suit. But Zek is in the dressing room right now.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, kind of like trying to find suits to try on, I should say.
Okay. Are you asking anyone about it or just doing it on your own or?
Just doing it on my own, basing it off the hat that looked great.
Okay. And
trying
then
to find stuff that matches that.
Methalus, what about you?
Is there a theme to this party?
The theme is dress like you would if you were going to the king's birthday party.
Like, what's the occasion for the party? Are we throwing a party for the king of?
He should be
Waterdeep?
so upset.
It's Quark's birthday,
I
and he's never been to a fancy party, so we're throwing him a fancy party.
We're throwing a fancy party for a bird.
Don't say it like that. Not
Wow.
in front
You
of
say
him.
it like that.
Wow.
Yeah, but when I say it, it's funny. Jeez.
In the middle of stitching, the halfling looks up and cocks his head. You don't know what the party is, but you're going to the event tonight?
He's
I'm always up for an event.
Odd.
Yeah, tell me about it. Wouldn't be the first odd thing I've done, and I doubt it'll be the last.
So what are you doing actually? Besides,
Then I'm going to choose colors and patterns and fabric that will go along with something foresty that Quark may enjoy.
are you getting assistance with this, or are you doing
I
it
would
on
hope
your?
So.
Okay, great. So you've taken one of the two of them. All right. So with that being the case,
Me too.
oh yes, what are you doing too?
I am having absolutely no idea what hats are and how hats work. Clumsily looking through things while keeping a close eye on the door and running interference, trying to keep anyone from going over by the storeroom. As I am quite nervous about this misadventure I may have sent Zek on.
Very good.
Yeah.
So if that being the case, they've managed to tie up both the other employees. Zek, you managed to make it back barely unnoticed on the second round back into the changing room.
Cool. And then I'll shift back and carefully make my way back out, and I'll be holding the jacket, shaking my head, and I'll put it back where I found it.
Okay. Great. So each of you browse your selections. Orwin's having his powdered wig made. They're assisting you with explaining what hats are, Quark, and offering you different things. Brand, what were you doing? Oh, right. You're searching the shop, but you're not really finding much else. And Methelus is getting assistance pulling his stuff together. So that's what's going on. What are you going to do from this point forward?
I'm going to purchase a suit and a hat.
Another
one.
So they give you a, I would say a forest green suit.
Dark greens and browns.
Yes, except for the tie. The tie is actually a deep purple.
Yes. I have several purple ties myself, actually, so I'm happy with that.
And they give you like a gold pocket square. It ends up being a very, very sharp, probably not the colors you would have ever chosen for yourself, but it looks very good, and it runs you 15 gold.
Outstanding.
Do you want a hat to go with it?
64. That didn't include the hat for 15 gold?
No, it does include the hat, but I didn't hear you say anything about a hat.
Well, of course a hat.
Okay. What type of hat would you like?
I believe I want a hat that kind of, you know, those hats that kind of flop over with a big feather.
A beret with a feather?
Not quite a beret. No.
Oh,
not-
I know which one you're
not a-
talking about. I've seen those
Right.
at Renaissance Fair.
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of like the town crier, kind of big poofy
Looks like
job.
somebody wearing a potato sack.
Ah, I know what you're talking.
Oh,
It's like
not
like
a potato sack.
no, like the monster berets kind of thing. Yeah, I got it. I got it. You got it.
A flat cap.
Yes, a flat cap. Yeah, I got it. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. Perfect. That looks actually really, really good on you. And you are quite pleased with how everything fits.
Phenomenal. Fantastic.
Brand, after you finish searching, then what?
I'm trying to look dapper as well. I've never done this before, so I'm gonna need some assistance from somebody who's savvy in fashion for non-fleshy beings.
So the person who had been helping Mythalos comes to assist you and sees the color palette of your armor and begins to pull things off in a, if I remember correctly, you're currently mostly gold and then red trim, correct?
Yeah, well, the armor is kind of like dark gray and with some red in it.
Right. Okay, right. Yeah, so basically what she does is she gets you a red suit with gold, everything's gold trim.
Not bad. Have you ever done this before for someone like me?
I couldn't say, to be honest. I don't think so. But well-worn fashion is well-worn fashion, no matter who wears it.
What was the correct way to say it? Do I look handsome or do I look pretty?
Most, I would say, striking.
Why not both?
Red is a bold statement and eye-catching. So you are quite striking.
Striking. I like this. I strike things. Striking, yes. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, man. How much do I owe you?
It would also be 15 gold.
All right.
And she gives you a red bowler hat to go with it.
Bowler hat. Is that like those small ones? That's like.
Do you remember? Do you remember Dum Dum Dugan from comics?
I think I do. Yeah. Those
Yeah,
little
that's
ones.
no. They're not. They're not like super little, but they're tight.
All right.
Faceless businessman in a bowler cap.
Yep.
All right. Awesome.
Anything else you're doing besides buying the suit?
No, I'm just taken away by this hat. I'm just looking at it, like a little kid. So
Quark.
I am disabled from doing anything else right now.
All right. Quark, you what are you doing now that you've got a bit of a grasp on what this stuff is?
Quark's going to decide, since now this party is for him, he doesn't need to dress up because it's everyone else needs to dress up to impress him because it's his party. But he is going to decide that the hat he likes is a beret. And the part of me that wants to say it's a raspberry beret is going to be suppressed, and we'll go for a more purple color beret. It seems to fit an owl head, it's kind of flat top there, so it seems to work well with that. So, yes, I believe this is based on what you all helped me with so graciously here, this seems to fit properly, I think, and he displays it to the staff member who had been helping him, and I believe this is the one I would like to purchase.
And will you be needing a matching suit?
No, not this time. Thank you very much, though.
The hat will be 4 gold.
I'll pay for it. It's his birthday anyways. And I'll pay
Oh,
for
well-
mines too, which comes to like 8 gold, pretty much.
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Atali. It's much appreciated.
They the person also, when you mentioned Italy that you're going to pay for Quark's hat, she steps out with a charcoal gray suit that is actually several shades darker than your skin. And she said, I believe this would match your hat perfectly.
All right, you got me. How much?
Then it would be 19 gold total.
All right, taking it.
And
Perfect.
or when he finishes your wig, will you be needing some formal fine clothes to go with this as well?
No.
I think
I
the
think this wig is going to be perfect.
Very good. And so then they charge you the 17 gold for it.
Pay that.
Methalus has got his. Zek, that's just you.
That's good.
All right then.
It's fine. Party pooper. All right, we're
Everyone.
done.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I never got your name. What is the name? I'm talking to the owner. What is, or who I think is the owner, the halfling?
Mm-hmm.
What is your name? I really appreciate you letting us in and buying all this stuff for our party tonight.
Well, I appreciate all of your patronage, and his glance lingers on Zek for just a moment as he moves to each of you that have bought something. He says,
Do they have kilts?
they do.
Like, oh, well then I'll get a kilt. That's fine.
Okay. Do you have a specific pattern or?
Nope, this is good.
Oh, all right. It's 4 gold.
And he'll pay for it.
Can I minor illusion Orwin into a fine suit just to see what he'd look like?
Sure, you can.
Kingpin?
Have him turn into
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was going to say. I say, imagine a kingpin from Spider-Man
Yes.
with the head of an elephant.
Does he have the white suit and the cane?
Oh,
Absolutely.
he could, yeah.
He sure does. Turn him towards the mirror. Are you sure you want to skip out on the suit?
I like the hair.
You don't have to. One doesn't preclude the other. You can have them both.
I don't want to detract from the hair, though.
Fair enough.
Rails, we are off them.
Not a fine figure in a suit, my friend. I'll allow the illusion to disperse, though.
He says, my name is Losser Merklev.
Thank you so much. I will definitely remember this place the next time I need a great hat and suit.
Anytime. You're most welcome.
Thank you. And we'll be on our way.
And you are. You find yourself back on the streets of Waterdeep once more.
All right.
Another exceedingly interesting adventure you have led us into, Atali. You
Now we all
you
have
a
great
gift.
suits. Like, we all have great suits and hats. I mean, we don't need them really, but you know
I
what?
have fabulous hair.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think, my dad always told me it's always helpful to have a suit just in case you need to go to a funeral or party. So now we got that.
And Methalus, in case you haven't caught on, there is no party. This was a ruse to attempt to get into the store.
Oh,
And it is at that moment that you hear that a paper bird flies down and lands on Methalus's shoulder.
I will open and read said bird.
It says the following.
Lady Umali, Haventree is hosting a party at Villa on Delzorin Street, located between Behest Street and Bronder's Way in the North Ward. You have reason to suspect that drow spies have infiltrated the guest list. Attend the party and root out the disguised drow. We've put you on the guest list already, but you'll have to bring your own attire. Less sharply.
Ha ha! There's gonna be a party anyway.
Okay, completely out of game. Did you guys line that up? Because that is just what
I will absolutely snap my jacket sharply, dust off my shoulders, and say, "Ha ha! A party's to be had either way."
So, what was the name? I didn't catch the name of the house. Address.
It was Lady. Hold on.
Lady Romali, Ivantree. Lady Romali,
Lady Romali,
Ivantree.
Lady Romali,
Ivantree.
Ivantree. Okay.
But by the way, Mythalos, it's the Harper symbol at the bottom of the note,
Perfect.
and the party is actually in 2 days, so it is not tonight.
That's fine.
Hey.
It doesn't have to be tonight.
At least we're prepared,
At
right?
least there's a party to be had.
All right. So I noticed that, Zach, you were in the dressing room for a long time. So either you had really bad diarrhea or you were doing spy stuff. Did you find anything out?
First of all, if that's where you're going to do that, I think we have a different conversation we need to have.
When you got to go, you got to go.
No, Clark made a request that I hadn't considered, and that was to follow the dirt trail that led to the storeroom. It actually led to the basement where they had a entrance into the sewer. This one was an actual door, where most of the times before they've been trap doors. This one looks an actual door. It had been used recently. But the dirt traveled from the sewer out to the street, not back this direction.
You know, the halfling there did mention that they were really tired, and I don't think it's due to them making wigs.
You think?
I don't think we're looking for a gnome. I think what we're looking for is actually a halfling.
Well, I mean, I said gnome just off the chance. There are a couple of races that are that size. I've known a couple of Kenku that were a brother and sister part of the troop that were about that size. So there
Gotcha.
Or a child.
I certainly hope it wasn't a child.
Or something that's stuck in the form of a child.
Is that better? Guy.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
You've been reading those creepy books in the library again? Those give you nightmares. Stop that. But
Well,
yeah,
I guess we'll go back to plan whatever it was before, and Quark's gonna take a look around, and seeing nothing that looks too hazardous is gonna fly to the highest point around and try to get a surveying and see if he can see anything that looks suspicious of undead activity.
Got it. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure that everybody can see themselves on this map because I'm afraid there's a couple of people that cannot. Let me fix the... Can everyone see the map currently? Would be the first.
No.
Okay, that's what I
can see
thought.
it.
Yes.
So I'm guessing both Arturo and Ben can't. So give me 1 second, guys. I gotta grab a copy of you off of a different map here real quick. Orwin and Brand. No. The only problem with running one window for the stream and one window for the DM is that I get confused and keep trying to paste stuff on the stream all the time.
Been there.
Okay. There we go. So I am actually placing Orwin and Brand. You guys should now be able to see the map.
Yep.
So I've placed Orwin and Brand on the map by where you guys are, south of the City of the Dead. Everybody else is kind of scattered on the map from other things we've been doing previously. Nope, still can't move you on the stream, but I'll try and move you.
Will you though?
Yeah. So the haberdashery is about there. So yeah. So you're gonna fly up. Give me a perception check. $12.
Dark. So,
Oh, you don't have dark vision, do you?
no. Thought about that. Too late.
Make me a dex check for your flight to not hit something.
Gosh.
You don't see much with just the firelight and, from torches and moonlight. It's hard to make anything out at this time of night. And as you are going to land, you actually, until the last moment, you do not see a metal rod that is extended across the road, from one building to another, and you manage to clip your wing on it, but not enough that it does any damage. But
Flutter. So, unfortunately, too dark to really tell anything from up there. Sadly, can't really make heads or tails of where anyone may have gone or been, or any disturbances.
Dude,
But we
dark,
do
your
have-
eyes are huge.
Yes, unfortunately, I only have average night vision, even with these fairly significant orbs. However, we do finally have a spellcaster that could potentially be detecting magic, such as Necromancy, that we could see if it mayhaps came this way. Semiphilis. Yes, I'm referring to you. You are the only spellcaster here.
I don't think detect magic has a very long range. If I'm being honest, I think I get like 30 feet out of it.
Yeah, but I think it's longer term though. So as you walk around, if something comes into your purview,
It's also
And
30 feet further than the rest of us.
That's
and we
true.
think it came down this street, so if
That's
there's
true.
remnant of it, you should see it easily.
Voila! Detect magic it is.
make me a Arcana check, please.
Poof, you're an Arcana check.
Can you make me a banana? Poof, you're a banana.
Yeah, you definitely see some. You see some blood stains when you guys go back to the coffin. You see some blood stains on there that are definitely glowing with magic infusion. You can tell it was a necromantic spell. And there is a faint glow set of tracks that coincide with the footprints that lead away from this coffin.
Can I switch to heat vision and see if there's residual heat still?
There is no... How are you going to do that?
I don't know. I thought it was night vision. Oh, that's black and white. That's not heat vision.
Yeah.
My bad. It's not infravision any longer.
I was like,
Sorry.
wait a minute.
Never mind.
What?
Forget it.
What device are you using for that? Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, I will tell everybody what I saw or what I see. Necromancy, footprints, that direction.
All right, well, I suppose we should follow them and see how far we can trace it.
How long does detect magic last?
Concentration up to 10 minutes.
Okay. Give me 1 hot minute. You start to follow the prints in the direction that they lead off, and you actually start to go up a small hill, and as you reach the crest of it, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 20 minutes.
Dun, dun, dun.
getting worse. Our exploratory diving bell escaped the mummy is here in Berry. Wong and his assistant, Mary Nelson, have managed to... Our computers indicate that whatever caused it came from somewhere in the Pacific. We'll start searching that area immediately.
Did you know that you can subscribe to the channel for free if you have Amazon Prime? It's true. All you have to do is sign into your Amazon account, and then go to gaming.amazon.com. On the left side of the screen, under your name, it will ask you to link your Twitch account. Once that's done, just head over to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/gamersledge. You'll have an option to subscribe using your Twitch Prime. It costs you nothing, but helps support the channel. There is one catch: it runs out in 30 days, so make sure you come back and click the subscribe button again next month if you want to continue supporting great shows like this one. Thanks for helping. Be excellent to each other. And game on.
There's new items in the merch store. Head to bit.ly/gamersledge-merch. That's all one word, Gamers, Ledge, Merch, to check out the newest, latest and greatest gifts like mugs, t-shirts, mouse pads, stickers and more. Show some love for the show creators. They get a cut from each item sold, whether it is a Notice Me Senpai DM t-shirt, or a mug that helps you clarify when a point needs to be made in conversation. There's still a few minutes left in the break. You've got time? We will be here when you get back. Visit bit.ly/gamersledge-merch. Be excellent to each other in merch. I mean, game on.
Our first ttrpg family spotlight is on Dawn's Place YT. That's at Dawn's Place YT on Twitter. Dawn is a community member that has a blog where she does a deep dive and review on tabletop accessories and games. She also has a YouTube channel that you can get to from her link tree. Let's see if we can't get some more subscriptions to her channel if you have the time to head that way. Her link tree is linktr.ee/Dawn's Place.
Are you looking for a D&D podcast with a dark side? Something more like Game of Thrones and less like Monty Python? Tale of the Manticore is part dark fantasy audio drama, part solo D&D RPG. There's no plot armor here. The dice make all the important decisions. Join me as I resurrect the excitement, wonder, and emotion of old school D&D. Made for a mature audience, Tale of the Manticore is both a fiction and a game. It's the story where chaos rolls.
Works of Whimsy Studios is a high-quality craft maker who makes some of the best TTRPG accessories I've ever seen or purchased. I recommend heading to her Etsy store, where you can see giant D20 containers, jewelry, door frame art, and more, but in particular, you'll want to check out her book nooks. These are high-quality mini showcases that fit on your bookshelves between your books. I have one behind me you can see on almost any of my streams, and it's amazing. You can find any of Jess's links at her link tree at linktr.ee/Works of Whimsy Studios. Abyssal Brews is a published TTRPG supplement and magic item producer. They give great advice on Twitter, and you can find their products on Ko-Fi, DriveThruRPG, itch.io, and Roll20. Their alternate travel system, Campfire, makes travel rules easy, fun, and I highly recommend it. Head to abyssalbrews.com/hub for all the goods. Welcome back, everyone. Where we left off right before the break. The group had discovered a set of footprints. They found other footprints that led south out of the City of the Dead. And they went shopping at a haberdashery to investigate. They have since reconvened at the grave that had been tampered with. And Methelus was able to use his ability to detect magic and started following the trail to the west. Methelus, you had made it to about here when you topped a crest, and you can clearly see that the trail is leading out the northern gates. However, it is at this point when Zakusu, you hear in your mind the following.
Raja here. The number of intellect devourers has lessened dramatically in the past few weeks. There is a mind flayer named Nailu that works for the Xanathar Guild. What do you know about him? You may reply to this message. Named Nailu that works for the Xanathar.
You're
I
on.
probably shouldn't have come to me because I can't understand it.
Oh, you can't?
No, my hearing right now is really messed up.
Okay.
I couldn't understand. I heard it, but I couldn't understand it. It's a little distorted.
Really? Okay. I'll try more time.
Raja here. The number of intellect devourers has lessened dramatically in the past few weeks. There is a mind flayer named Nailu that works for the Xanathar Guild. What do you know about him? You may reply to this message.
Did anyone here able to understand it or no?
Yes,
I
think so.
heard you
Listen.
may reply to this message.
Bartis sent a mind message stating less intellect devours a mind for illicit named Nailu Xanathar Guild. Was that the name of the one that I'm wearing his clothes?
I don't know, is it?
We were told a while back. I just can't remember. So I will reply to this message. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what intellect devourers are. I'm not sure what mind flayers are, and I have no idea who Nailu is. And I'm not sure who you are.
That's not...
Yeah, it is. It's very true. Daniel knows who she is, but she never had a conversation with Zakusu at all.
I thought you were with them when they went into the tower.
No.
Oh, that's why I picked you. My bad.
Is she the wife that we saved their kids?
No, she's the...
Oh, well, then I'm way off.
Sorry. Methelus, you were there, correct?
At the Black Tower?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, I'm sorry. Then it would have gone to you. And were you able to hear it or no?
There's been a sudden decrease in the amount of intellect devourers.
Correct. And
she's wondering why.
And no, she says there had been a intellect devourer named Nylur that had worked for the Xanathar Guild that was suspected to be where the intellect devourers were coming from.
I misunderstood.
What do you know?
I thought Nailu was illicit.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, so an intellect devourer in this case is a mind flayer.
No. I'm sorry. I must have misspoke somewhere in there.
Intellect devourer was the dogs.
Yeah,
dog brain thing.
they're the dog brain things. So yes, Nylur is a illithid who had been the suspected source of the intellect devourers. What do you know of him? Was the question.
God, He's not here. Oh, man. Well, I wanted to ask somebody else, like, whatchamacallit? Leo. Because when we went to the tower before, they gave us the cold shoulder and told us we weren't strong enough to deal with this. I'd like to talk to him for a second. All right, Leo is in the blue spark.
He is.
Well, I will reply that the Mind Flayer is deceased.
And you get the following response.
You what? Are you saying you? By yourselves? I will need to confirm this. But if it's true, by the gods, you will have done this city a huge favor. You may reply to this message. Yes.
Oh, it's true, and we have his staff to prove it.
She sends another message that just says, I will get back to you.
All right. Maybe next time you let us in the tower. Kind of a snarky.
I hadn't noticed. Yeah, I hadn't noticed. Got it. All right.
I wanted to be absolutely certain that snarky came across.
Oh, it did. It did. Yeah, so you see the tracks lead out the front street, and if you look on the map, there's a little alcove of buildings right there that I'm pinging at the north end of the City of the Dead.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at it.
There's a sewer entrance there.
And that's where the footprints head to?
That's where they head to.
Now, I apologize for being gone for the very beginning of this, but why are we hunting these footprints? Somebody disturbed a grave? Is that what's going on?
Last time we got a quest from the Emerald something or others that I joined along with Itali and Brand
your forest friend.
to hunt down a potential case of necromancy.
Oh, good. I'd like to squash out necromancy. That stuff's no good. That's gross. All right. Well, I will point out that the footprints head into the sewers. Right here on Samarins and Zendulith and... What was it?
It's
Melambers?
Milsimber's Way.
Malsimbers, yes.
Yep.
Malsimbers Way.
Malsimbers Way.
So
But yeah.
if we want to head down... What time of
Interesting.
day is it? Is it the middle of the... What?
It is now the middle of night, and you're all wearing, except for Orwin, finery. And Zek.
Oh, I didn't put on the suit. I just bought it.
Oh, you just took it with you?
Yeah, we can...
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, I
I'm
mean...
wearing finery.
Yeah. Your powdered wig, yes. 100%.
Yeah, minor illusion again. Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. As soon as they told me there wasn't actually a party tonight, it's time to change out of the finery, and put my normal-ish speak clothes on.
All right.
Do we want to go down the hole, or do we want to wait till tomorrow? I'm thinking our best chance of finding this is to not let the path grow cold. But I will head with the greater wisdom of the party.
I believe we should follow this post haste.
All right, so at this point, it's been about 7 minutes. So you make your way down into the sewer. You can see that the trail leads under, by your estimates, the City of the Dead in a southeasterly direction.
Is that the direction of the haberdashery?
If you look at where you guys are, where Orwin and Natali and Brand are on the map, that's where the haberdashery is.
So it is leading us there.
At least in that general direction.
Okay. Let's go on.
So after a time, after about probably 2.5, 3 minutes of trudging through the sewer, you actually come to a room that is somewhat dry. And it is just off of the main sewer line that you're following. And it looks like the tracks go in there to a spot against the far wall and stop and then start going south again.
Can I inspect this area where they stopped for a bit and see if it met up with somebody?
Yeah, and so are you all down there right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
I'm not doing this by myself.
And who has you? I assume Quark, you have the torch.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, since you have light, make me a investigation check. Yep, you definitely find you find some tattered remains of clothes, some actual tattered remains of skin, flesh. And it's actually where you find it is around the spot where the trail led to the wall, and then it moved off of the trail, moved back out and south again. So at the wall is where you find that stuff.
So is this thing no longer wearing an IR suit? Sorry, that may have been a random.
Are there footsteps in here that we're following?
No, you guys can't see anything. Only Mythilos can.
But there are no footsteps in here, right?
Correct.
Well, I will point out the flesh and clothing. Did this thing change shape or take off whatever it was possibly wearing?
It's like small tattered strips. It's not like it's not like a bolt of clothing or anything like that.
So in theory, we're following a necromancer of small stature and a medium-sized skeleton. So it's not unlikely that we're going to find small strips of clothing and flesh that have fallen off the skeleton. You were gone when we started fighting this stuff.
So, looking at the wall, like, can you tell if was it fussing with something in the wall? Is there a loose brick or something?
Make me a perception check. You don't find anything really out of sorts with the entire room, let alone that wall or space. Also, it is about this time, Mythilos, that your detect magic runs out.
Me a few minutes, guys, and I'll ritual cast it.
Okay. So you spend 10 minutes, cast it again. It is up, and you follow the trail south, or do you continue to investigate here, or do you guys do something during the 10 minutes? Else, what? All possibilities are open. But Cork, you didn't see anything out of the ordinary with the stones, or find any switches or anything like that.
Yeah, Zach's gonna be pressing on the wall.
Yeah.
Like just looking for.
Yep. Give me a perception check. Same thing. You press on the wall. Seems like a old and somewhat slimy wall, but that's about it. Brand, is there anything in particular you're looking to do?
Yeah, just before we move on, I want to go over to Orwin, and I want to bless his weapon with the blessing of the forge. So
how long does that last for?
That lasts until the next long rest.
Perfect.
So that gives you like a +1 to your weapon, and it's now magical. You want to make sure of that, and I would also, I'd like to try to perceive if there's any magic emanating from somewhere around here, to see if I can kind of track the Necromancer through his magic.
Okay. And what spell are you using to do that?
Let's see. I don't have any spell, but I don't know with Arcana if I could have, try to trace any residual magic or anything like that.
Make me an Arcana check. We'll see.
Let's see if it works. We'll check. Yep.
Not so much, but with an actual spell like Detect Magic, you'd be able to do that a lot better.
Yeah.
So with that check, I mean, you can tell that. Give me a perception check real quick.
Yeah.
With advantage, so roll it again.
All right.
Okay.
Better.
So you knew what the scraps of flesh and clothing looked like at the disturbed coffin. Once Methelus points out the tattered strips and clothing, although there's not a ton of it, you do recognize that it's not the same. Like there's multiple. You see some stuff that looks like what was at the coffin, but then you see some other strips of clothing that do not match what was at the coffin, like multiples.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell everybody that I think there's plenty of more people have been raised. This is not the same. This is not the same skeleton that we're following. There are several of them.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
And Quark, Itali, Orwin, Zach, anything you guys want to do while Methelus is casting his ritual? Besides
Are they
exploring the wall there?
Do we know if I'm asking Brand, do we know if all the skeletons are going the same direction?
It looks to me like they are, but I don't know. I think we need to keep tracking.
Okay.
Take notes on planning an actual surprise birthday party for Quark.
Okay, fair enough.
Sounds like it.
I'm gonna tuck my trunk into my clothes or armor or something because I'm sure it smells like.
Oh, it's great. You're in a sewer.
Yeah, Quark just wanted to see, because there's got to be a reason why they're stopping here, but if he can't perceive it, then he's just going to be thinking and frustrated.
All right, Methelus, you cast your spell. You see the trail once more, and it heads off to the south. It takes you the better part of 10 minutes, but eventually... Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Am I seeing anything else that is adding to the trail that's not magical, like footprints, or am I getting a sense of what I'm looking for here, or am I only going strictly by the residual magic?
You're only going by the residual magic, because this is a active wet sewer. So unless and the track is going through the actual sewer part, not the walkways on the side. So there's not much to see here unless, somebody made a mistake somewhere, but you haven't seen anything like that so far.
I've heard of some magics that are able to locate objects. Do you have something like that?
I do.
You do?
I can do that. I can do that, but I need materials for that. I don't have it. I don't have them on me.
Okay. Because I have part of this boot.
Yeah. I can identify it if we had a pearl.
I don't know how long you're going to be able to keep up with the tracking of arcane energies, Nicholas.
Nor do I. So we should make this as fast as possible.
Because at this point, we're heading under the city of the dead, right?
Correct.
By now, you're probably 3/4 of the way through the city of the dead.
Well, has there been any
it's
branches
still
off the sewer?
It's still
It's like
smelly
one
here?
line.
So this is an actual, how do I say this? This would be considered a main thoroughfare within the sewer.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, the northern side of the city is mountains. So you're heading at a slope downhill.
That's interesting. I just wouldn't have thought that would have been underneath this area. That's all.
This is where the stuff rolls downhill, right?
Yeah, but this is older. The city of the dead is newer. Is the short answer. So this was here first, and then it takes you all of about almost 10 minutes, and eventually the path breaks off, and there is a door set into the side of the tunnel, and the trail leads into the door.
All right. Tell everybody to be quiet. Try to take a listen.
Zach, does this look like the door you found in the basement?
Does
The
it
storeroom?
look like the door? It's hard to tell, but I think so, yes.
Yeah, you don't hear anything.
Mage hand. Is it locked?
It is locked.
All right, use my thieves tools with my mage hand.
Go for it.
Now this is not rolling good for me.
It's tough. It takes you a couple times, but you eventually do unlock it.
Can I check for traps?
Sure. You do not find any sign of traps.
All right. Well, if I don't hear anything and it's unlocked, I'll go ahead and pop the door open, poke my head in.
You pop the door open. Inside is a smallish chamber. It's made of cobblestone. You see that there's a kind of a rope ladder staircase that goes up in the far center of the room, and it looks like there's a couple doors to the left and right. There are things like bolts of fabric. There's in one corner there's a pile of severed mannequin heads.
Did you say doors to the left and right?
Yes.
I missed that last time I was down here, yeah.
Yeah, Zach, this is where you were.
Yep, this is. I didn't see those doors though, but I was in a different form and trying to be quick.
All right. Well, check the other doors. See if they're
Oh,
locked.
sorry. I'm sorry. Your magical detect magic is just wearing off, but you can see that the trail leads in and to the left through the left door.
All right. So, go listen at the left door. See if I hear anything.
Make a perception check, please.
1 second. There we go.
So you don't hear anything from the door to the left. You do hear voices and walking up above.
AKA the haberdashers.
Correct. Yeah.
Is there any way to tell if they are aware of what's going on down here as being part of it, or if this is happening under their noses and they aren't aware of it?
The short answer I would give you is you would kind of assume that if they were aware of it, they would be running down here to see what's going on. And you don't hear any any evidence of that so far.
Okay. Is the door locked?
It is not.
I didn't hear anything, so give it a crack.
It opens. You see it's an unlit room inside. Looks like to be probably 10 foot by 10 foot room.
With no exits?
Are you going to go further than a crack, or just a crack?
I'll try to stealth my way in.
Okay, make me a stealth check. You very sneakily slide the door open and almost ride the door as it opens, and then move into the room. You see that it is indeed a exitless room other than the one you're coming through right now. And on the floor off to the left is a corpse that seems to be unmoving, and it has it's missing like half a boot and various pieces, strips of clothing, etc.
That's our man.
All right, Brand. I think
Yes,
this
sir.
is more your domain than mine.
I will approach the
Gods,
corpse.
demons, undead, blah blah blah.
Yep,
You approach?
yep. I approach. And is he a skeleton or is it a decaying corpse?
It's mostly a skeleton at this point. There's still some flesh on it, but for the most part, skeleton. But you also see that it looks like the center of its rib cage has a burned hole in it.
Burned hole? Like, does it seem magical or does it seem like a run-of-the-mill? Somebody put a fire in through these.
Make me an Arcana check, actually.
Okay. And here we go.
Definitely seems magical.
Burned through the chest. Does that ring a bell or anything? Does it seem ritualistic? Or does it look like it was slain for a second time?
Looks like it was slain for a second time.
Oh, wow. Okay. I relay that information to Nicholas. And I'm going to keep trying to find any sort of clue as to what happened. Why is it here? Out of all places. I'm going to search the floor. Any sort of thing that he dropped, maybe?
Not overly, no. It seems that's...
Whoever this was, this corpse, it's been dead quite some time, right?
It
Presumably,
has.
now that most of the flesh is gone?
Yes.
It's mostly skeleton?
Yes.
Okay, so this was just merely animated by the Necromancer.
Yes.
I would assume for the purpose of protection to get through the sewers. Up to this point, there's nobody else. There's nothing else in this 10 by 10 foot room.
No.
I'm going to cast light, and then I'm going to investigate for secret doors or hidden walls or blah blah blah.
Absolutely. You pour with a fine-tooth comb, or whatever the medieval fantasy equivalent is, through this room. Nothing.
Right. And there is I'm certain there is no other way out of this room, so we need to either check the other door or go upstairs and interrogate the staff.
Let's try
Might check the other door first.
Yeah. Agree.
Well, I was just tossing out options. I didn't say we had to interrogate them right away.
Yeah. Yeah. The other door just seems like storage for the haberdashery.
And I will investigate that storage room as well.
You go over it pretty thoroughly. Does not seem to be anything but another storage room.
All right, well, the Necromancer obviously came into here. The trail ended here. If you want to give me another 10 minutes to ritual cast detect magic again, I can try and see if it goes upstairs or something. But at this rate, I'm thinking
I think we now
This is
know
the
who it
Necromancer.
is.
this is where the trail came to, and did not go back out. There was no, like, my magic was still running, and the trail did not go back out into the sewer. So there only seems to be one other option here, guys.
Blow
We'll
up the
we can
haberdashery.
investigate. Yeah, we can. We can investigate this room as well. I will investigate, see if there's any actual possibility of a.
You go over it with a fine-tooth comb. You're very confident that there's nothing in here either.
Yep, I searched everywhere down here, and I am certain that there's no hidden doors. Oh. So,
That skeleton? It's a full skeleton?
It is a full skeleton except for the missing chest area where the hole's been blown out of it.
And I'm sorry, the hole that was blown out, are there marks on the ground like it was told to lay down and then destroyed?
No.
Does it look like it's laying down or it fell to the ground after being destroyed?
It looks like it probably fell to the ground.
But this is just a skeleton, is that right?
It is just a skeleton.
And it's wearing mostly 2 boots.
It's wearing most of a suit and half of a boot, yes.
Half of a boot?
Well, I mean, on one foot, one and a half boots, yes.
Okay, I'm going to take the boots off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the feet, and I'm going to put the boots back on the stumps of legs. If somebody reanimates it, it won't be able to walk off because I have its feet. But they won't know that because the boots are still on.
Oh, I see what you're...
Taking the bones of the feet.
I see what you're saying. I see. Okay, sure.
And I'll drop them into the kitchen drawer that I have in the bag holding.
Fair enough. And the feet suffocate after 10 minutes.
I didn't know they were.
So yeah, that's yeah, you get that done. The boots are now on the bottom of the shin bones of poor
Wait a minute. This is the storage area, right?
poor Gregor. Yeah. This is a storage area.
Are there any cool hats?
There. You know what? Roll me percentile. If you get above 60, then yes. No. No cool hats, just the stuff used to make cool hats.
And we've asked this already, but there's nothing obviously missing from the skeleton. Like, it doesn't look like they took pieces of the skeletons and are weaving them into hats or something.
No, doesn't appear so. I mean, it is missing its feet now, and the boots are on the ends of the shin bones.
We saw the feet thief.
Yes, but beyond that,
it's foot envy. But
yeah.
Were there any marks on the wall, like behind where it would have maybe been shot if it was shot there?
Yes. That was an easy.
Is there a hole?
There is not a
in the
hole.
wall?
There's not a hole in the wall.
Scorch mark.
Yeah, scorch mark. That's an easy yes.
What if the people here are, doing all this necromancy stuff to raise the dead for free labor? Because they got to make all these suits and hats, right? And so in that case, can we really wrong them for trying to get some free labor?
Necromancers are in here being tailors.
I think they're raising the dead to be
That would
tailors.
be necromancy.
Yeah.
So
and
people spent years and years learning how to study magic, learning how to raise the dead just so they could move some clothing around?
It's free labor. And you don't have to feel bad about it because it doesn't have feelings anymore. It's dead.
You sure you don't feel bad about it? Because I think I'd feel bad.
Oh no,
about
I feel
raising
bad
somebody's
about it.
bones.
I'm just seeing it
So
from
you're
their
saying they don't-
perspective.
okay,
Like,
well, I
like
feel
this
like
is
we're-
wrong still, but I'm just saying like maybe that's what they're doing.
I feel like
Right.
we're dancing around the fact that we have to go upstairs and interrogate and intimidate some people in order to.
We don't really have to go downstairs. We can just make some noise and make them come down here.
Nice. I think you're missing the point. Hey, Brand, are you able to speak with the dead?
I am not.
Okay. Did it look before we arrived at this skeleton like it had been searched?
It doesn't look like it was searched. It looks to me like somebody slayed it, but I have no reason why or what happened there. But it doesn't look like it was searched.
I'm just trying to think why bring it here, and then why kill it like this, unless
Are
we
there-
were trying to get information from it.
There's
Are there
only
fleshy
one other
bits
way out.
in other areas of the room? Similar to what we found on the platform?
Yeah, I will say that with Mythalos' investigation check in this room, yeah, you would have found a few other tattered pieces of clothing, some other fleshy bits, yes. But
So it looks like more of these may have been
I'll be
brought
back.
into this room also.
right.
Well, I don't think we have any choice at this point but to
some
advance
noise.
upstairs and could also make some noise.
And then
Try
we
to drag them
hide,
down
and
here.
then we jump out in our cool suits and surprise them, and then interrogate them.
Where do you expect me to hide?
And why on earth would I put on my cool suit? I love this thing.
And
Well, yeah, so that way it's a really fancy interrogation. I mean, that way it doesn't seem so bad to them.
You did say it was Quark's birthday party. I'm just saying.
Surprise! We're having the
This is
surprise.
how-
We're having the owls in the
this is,
basement.
this
As
is
an
how
interrogation.
owl men have
That's right.
parties. We do interrogations, yes.
It's a surprise interrogation.
Oh yeah,
Well, I
we can
think-
either go upstairs or lead them down here.
Well, it is. Yeah. There's no good way to keep them from potentially bolting. If we go
Yeah,
upstairs, they
make
could
a
run
bunch
out
of
the shop.
noise, if we just make a bunch of noise, they could just leave.
Yes,
You
I think
know,
we should-
if they're like raising, dead people, or I think it's gonna take more than just some noise to scare them off.
Zek, you ready to go up the stairs?
I'm ready.
I'm not entirely sure that. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Well, not entirely sure. I mean, we've got to figure out one way or the other if they know what they know and how long they knew it.
so stealthily as possible up, and then
That was the plan.
Do we want to try to find a way to prevent them from running as soon as we come bursting out of their sewer?
Well, I wasn't going to come
Which is-
bursting out. I was going to stealth out and then use my invisible mage hand to bar the door so they can't just run out the front door.
We can also just take their feet.
Well, no, you only do that to dead people.
Oh, live people have feet too. But yeah, let's go upstairs.
All right, so I need everybody to make me a stealth check, please. Ben's like an elephant in a haberdashery shop.
Yes,
Did we
I-
all? Were we really all going up the stairs at the same time, or were we going to let the thief go up and bar?
No, well, you're going up in one at a time. I just need to know what order, and then we'll discuss what happened.
Okay.
So I know you're going up for. I know you had said you wanted to go up first, so that's fine. So you're in first. Who's up next after that?
Quark was going to go up to cover him while he did that.
All right. So then it's Quark, and then
I'll
who?
go third.
Tali third, and Brand, Zach, Orwin. How are we finishing up the train here?
I'll go
I
from
should
like
go last, and I should probably pause because I know I'm a big elephant.
Zek's gonna go with Orwin.
Okay, so Brand, then Zach, and then Orwin. Okay, perfect. So, Meathless, you managed to climb up the rope stair ladder without a problem. You open the trap door. It is there is a closed door between you and the actual haberdashery. This is a storeroom. It's not huge, but it's big enough. Quark, you actually are slightly impressed. You did not hear Quark come up after you, and you just kind of look over, and he's right next to you, covering you with a bow and arrow. And just as you give a little bit of respect to him, Itali is on the other side of you, and you didn't see him come up either or make a sound.
Did you guys fly up? That's cheating.
And then here comes Zach, and Brand clomp clomp clomp. But you haven't heard any pauses in the
Sounds of the shop.
in the sounds of the people working in the shop.
Now, above and beyond the people working in the shop, does it sound like there's actual patrons, customers in the shop?
No, it's still the middle of the night, and they had only opened for you.
All right. Cool. Well, I want to stealthily try to open the door so I can see the main entrance and try to stealthily bar it with their interior bar or whatever.
Give me one more stealth check.
Might already be barred too. Wow.
Yeah, no problem. You managed to open the door. You don't have to open it very far. You're able to see the front door, and you slide the bar into place with the mage hand, and no one seems any wiser.
There were no other exits in the main room, right?
Nope.
Perfect.
Windows, if they wanted to jump. through
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
but,
the big windows, but that's about
I
it.
can't. I can't do anything about that. Well, I will wave the warriors and whoever else wants to go ahead to go ahead. I will message who? I'll message Zek that the main door is barred and they're unaware, and I will message Orwin the same thing and tell them that they're unsuspecting at this point in time, and you might as well go in there and disarm or do whatever you warriors do.
That's cool.
Do you want Atali to go first to attempt to talk his way through this? Atali, do you want to go first and attempt to talk your way through this?
I will do that.
All right. So if he
Would
goes
you
up
like
first,
me to go with you?
yeah, do you want to go by yourself or do you want
As
the muscle
400
back up?
pounds of intimidation comes through the door.
Yeah, if things don't work, just burst through the door.
All
All right. So we're on standby. You're going to go in solo.
So you're just slipping through the door and leaving it cracked so that people can see what's going on, but they can't see into the storeroom. Is that
Yep.
what I'm getting? Okay. All right. You do that, and the two ladies don't see you yet,
Mm-hmm.
but the halfling does, and he He frowns.
As soon as I see that frown, I'll just say, I could not find a bathroom in this street. And I ended up here. Anyways, here's the thing. When I was back there, I saw, and I'm going to try to intimidate them.
Mm-hmm.
I just know, I was just back there. I know there's some necromancy stuff going on. And I bet you, since you're keeping this a secret, I'm willing to bet that you guys aren't registered with the magic police. So, not trying to really start stuff over here. So, are you going to give yourself up, or are we going to have to take you down?
He stammers for a minute and he says, "Necromancy? I have no idea what you're talking about."
You know what I'm talking about.
Make me an insight check.
Insight.
Yeah, he knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Don't try to pull one on me now. Again, let's just stop this stuff and let's go to the magic police and get this over with. Nobody else has to die. So let's do this.
You hear him audibly say, "Son of a," and the next thing you see is a purplish trail of energy that leads through one of the windows, and then you see him chanting and he completely disappears from your vision.
There's clothes all about us, right?
Yeah, and the two women who are standing there looking gobsmacked. They look like Nicolas Cage. You know how Nicolas Cage looks like he's been hit upside the head with a fish at all points in time? That's what they look like right now.
Okay, well, can't I just throw all these clothes up in the air and it'll land on him?
No, he went through the pane window outside.
Pane window outside?
Yeah, and then disappeared.
Like, turned himself invisible?
That would be your guess.
Okay, well, try to follow him, jumping through the window.
You jump through the window and it shatters.
Cool.
Actually, make me an attack.
I'm attacking the window?
Yeah. You're basically trying to attack it with your shoulder. And I got to make sure you do enough damage to actually clear the window instead of bounce off it hilariously.
What do I roll?
It's going to be just a straight D20 plus strength modifier, whatever that is.
D20 plus strength modifier.
So what's your strength?
It's a 3.
Oh, plus 3? Yes. Yeah. That's your strength modifier. So 15. Okay, so you hit, and now roll, let's say, 1d8 damage. Yeah. There's that moment where you're like, this is a great idea, and you jump kind of shoulder first towards the window, and whereas you think it's going to be like paper mache, it's not, and your momentum starts to slow, and you're like, this may have been a bad idea, and then you feel the glass shatter, and you manage to go through. Make me a dex saving throw.
Dex saving throw. Do I just hit dex? Is that right?
No, for the saving throw, you hit the saving dex save one.
Dex save.
Yeah, you manage to roll clear of the glass as you fall on the other side, but you don't get cut or anything along those lines.
Hearing the glass shattering, Quark's going to run in.
Yep. And you run in to see Itali on the ground, kind of mid-roll, just about to stand up. The two women are almost screaming at this point. Like they're about to scream, you can tell. And you see no sign of the halfling.
I'd like to follow up.
Tip my beret to the ladies,
Since everyone's
ladies,
going.
and jump through the window.
You jump through the window. Sure, no problem.
Is there? Can I just walk out the door, or is that on the other side?
The door is on the right side, but if you attempt to do that, then you find that the bar has been placed inside the door.
Just break through it.
All right.
It'd take you just a second to unlock it.
Yeah, I'll try to unlock it and just walk out.
Okay, you unlock it and walk out.
Zech's gonna jump through the window.
You-
Like a snaky somersault.
Yep, you easily enough done. You land on the other side.
Where is he?
He's hiding somewhere here. He turned himself invisible. I'm pretty sure he did.
So he broke through the glass first?
Let's not worry about the glass. Who broke it first? Let's worry about finding this invisible person.
How do you know he's out here and not invisible inside?
Because he
DM
ran
told
through
him
the
so.
door.
Oh, he ran through the door.
He ran through the window.
Did he run through it or did he disappear?
He disappeared, and he was running like he was going through the window.
Okay, so Zech is going to close his eyes and focus on the sounds of the street and see if he can hear anything that's not his loud companions right here. Using his patient monk training.
Okay, make me a perception check with advantage. I know what I want to tell you. I'm trying to figure out exactly how to say it. So you close your eyes, you let the sounds of the street fill your mind, but it's not sound that you notice. It's a slight draft. And perhaps the faint sound of something flying away.
Flying away?
Mm-hmm.
Did it feel nearby?
Hard to tell. I mean, this is something you've trained to do, but not actually done a lot in practice.
Zech is going to parkour up the side of the building and punch where he thinks the flying ended up.
How much movement do you have?
45. But where is it?
You can spend a key point to do the thing.
Step of the wind?
Yeah. Go for it.
Boop. And then I'm assuming it's like an attack with disadvantage.
Yeah, it's attack with disadvantage.
Right.
Can I do a bardic inspiration on it while you're doing this?
Nope.
Yeah. No.
Got a card? Nope.
you jump and you swing and you're positive that's where it was, and there's just like no resistance whatsoever, and you now find yourself careening towards the ground.
Acrobatics?
Yep.
Dex is a roll?
Yep. Roll good. Roll well. That's good enough. You manage to coil yourself in a way that doesn't hurt when you land. But
I think he flew away. I think I heard him flying away.
I'm going to shoot a bolt towards where he punched towards.
Sure. Roll me an attack roll at disadvantage.
All right, so I just hit hand crossbow.
Yeah, make sure once you've hit the disadvantage at the top. Top center.
Wow.
Yeah, you fire your bolt, and it just goes sailing through the air.
All right, so now we're gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to go with my plan. Original plan was just waiting at night for him to show up again.
I don't think he's gonna show up again. Not here. Was it the owner? I didn't see who made a run for it.
It was the owner.
So I think that you should go in and talk to those women who probably have no idea what he was into, but they may be able to tell you where he lives or if he had any other areas he liked to go to.
I'll go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and get into the Menagerie through the window.
What
It's
direction did it go? I would like to see if I could find it.
I'll vaguely point, kind of.
It would have been to the southwest.
Southwest. So I'm gonna take off and just fly low level and just see if I can pick up any signs of anything.
And we never heard from Quark again.
Well, if you want to know how to solve a flying character in the party. No, yep. You start heading that direction. Make me a perception check with disadvantage.
Oh, rabbit sauce.
You continue flying the general direction that they were punching and shooting at, and
it is still super dark.
It is still super dark. The women see you come in through the window, Itali, and they're like, "Please don't kill us, my lord."
I don't plan to. I just need some information on the owner of this place. Who is he? Where does he like to hang out?
I don't understand. You met Losser earlier in the evening. He hangs out here. He's always working.
Where? What does he do when he's not here?
He lives here.
He lives here. How long has he lived here?
Since he purchased the store.
How long ago was that?
10 years?
10 years. What did he do before he owned this place?
I don't know. Jareth, do you? She shakes her head no.
How long have you guys been working for him?
I've been working for him for the last 5 years, and Jareth's been working here for the last 3.
Okay. Do you guys know anything about the body under the trapdoor?
Body?
Yes.
We don't know I don't know what you're talking about. Do you, Jareth? She shakes her head no.
Have you guys ever gone through there? Through the trapdoor?
No, generally not. We don't go into the basement. Once in a very blue moon, we'll go down to get some of the older supplies, but most of the current supplies are kept up here.
I'm going to use insight to see if they're telling the truth.
Go for it.
Oh, that's disadvantage. Let me do normal.
Oh no, yeah, it doesn't matter because you still got a 22. Yeah, they seem completely scared out of their mind and telling you the truth.
Okay.
In fact, you gather they still think you're going to kill them.
Oh. Calm down. I'm going to put my hands up, palm showing so they see I'm not holding any weapon or hiding any weapon. It seems like you guys don't know what's going on. I believe you. Your boss might have been going around raising the dead and doing it underneath your noses.
I can't believe that. Mr. Enclave has always been a upstanding business owner and a mentor to the next generation of business people.
Well, some people suck, I guess. So, I don't know. Maybe find a new job?
Are we free to leave?
Yeah, you're free to go.
They run out the door as quickly as possible.
Okay. I'm gonna gather around with everybody else, and I'm just gonna tell them like it seemed like he flew away or whatever, and I think we should tell the cops, the magic police, about what's going on, because I'm pretty certain if there's a necromancer stuff going around here, it's being done under secret.
Stand by 1 second.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah. Cork, you eventually, I mean, you're flying in the dark.
Literally.
Literally.
Figuratively.
Yes.
Work my way back.
Yep, you cork your way back and fly in the window. Everybody's back together now. What do you plan to do?
I'm gonna go find. Well, where do you think, guys? Should we go either to the Emerald Enclave, let them know what happened, or should we let the secret, magic police know what's going on? Or third option, there's some free suits and hats.
Well, if he lived here, I didn't hear that part.
I'll let you guys know. Like, this dude, apparently he bought this place 10 years ago, and he lives and works here. And nobody knows what he did before. None of the two people that work here knows what he did before that. And he was doing all this stuff underneath their noses. I still think he's raising the dead just for free labor. I'm not 100% sure, but
Where does he live?
Apparently here.
No, I mean like in the sewers? Is there a second story?
There is a second story.
Can I find my 17 gold?
It looks like the register area has been cleaned out.
He doesn't deserve more.
I'm going to go ahead and take a look upstairs.
Yeah,
there's anything.
I think that's where we should go.
Yep. It's decent size because it's basically the size of the shop floor, but a level above, but nothing of value really. Surprisingly, looks like he lived very conservatively.
Okay. Is there anything like books, notes, anything like that?
Not that give me a perception check just in case.
Okay.
Of course you will. Yes, you find a book that has a bunch of scratches in it that don't make any sense.
I will go ahead and use my comprehend languages. And I'll put that what that is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Spoken language and written language you see must be. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I think we should probably tell the Emerald Enclave before we go to the
magic police
watch.
Okay.
Okay. Wow, that's super. Okay. Yeah, you cast comprehend languages, you put your hand on the page, and basically it looks to be a record in a cipher. And the record basically says, student attempts, successes.
Student attempt successes.
Yeah. And it's got it's basically got tally marks next to each of them. And it looks like the student attempts is at about 15 and the successes is at 6.
6. Why is he keeping this like in some sort of cipher? Like, does it say what they're attempting?
That's all it says is student attempts 15, student successes 6.
Does it give the list of student names?
Literally, that's everything on the page.
Okay. Student attempt. Well, this is obviously not. If this was a tailored school, it wouldn't be so secretive. I think he must be running some sort of secret school.
Or at least one apprentice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
not
think he's
in
running
wig
something.
making.
Yeah, not in wig making, obviously, because he's being very secretive about this. So maybe necromancy? Maybe
that seems likely. Would also potentially explain the expired skeleton. They're just practicing raising them. Don't want them wandering about, drawing attention.
This is absolutely one of those things that we should be contacting the authorities regarding. Not only is it magic, it's dark magic.
Yeah, but I agree with Mythilus, though. We should contact the Emerald Enclave first. I mean, they're the one that hired us, and then go directly to the magic police,
And
whatever.
they may want to take it to the black sticks, black coats, black claws, black
Tower.
those guys.
No, the Black Tower is actually a separate faction.
Oh, okay.
It was, I actually don't remember. I know, bad DM. I don't remember the name of them either, but yes, the Magic Police. That works.
Magic flutes, cool.
No, Magic Police.
Yeah.
Police.
Magic police.
Yes.
Police. Okay. Who probably play flutes. All right. Well, let's go and try to get a hold of the Emerald Enclave.
All right. So you make your way to the Enclave Estates. There are 2 guards out front. One of them was one of the guards when you came last time. They recognize you. They open the gates, and you are presented to
Master Fellbranch,
Melanor Fellbranch, and he says, "What news have you?"
Well, we found out who's been raising the dead at the City of the Dead. It is a owner of a haberdashery, and I confronted them, and looks like they slipped away by turning themselves invisible and flying away. Wasn't expecting that. But I found this notebook here, and it seems like he is running some sort of school, and seems like it might be for necromancy.
That's not a good sign.
Definitely not a good sign, especially since they got away. On the plus side, we do have some great suits.
Well, he looks at you and then kind of, he's a little confused, but he says,
I know, I'm not wearing it right now, but trust me, when I wear it, I look great.
He nods and he says, very good. I will take this to the proper authorities, and regardless of whether you caught him or not, he obviously knew you were onto him, and that means the watch was onto him. I doubt he will be back to practice again, more than likely.
Hopefully.
Good work for your first mission.
Thank you. Also, what do these charms do?
I will let you know at a later time. But
Okay.
he does give you... No, he gives Quark a charm. And he says, this is for you, Master Quark. We figure it might be helpful to you in certain circumstances from what you told us about this blue entity here. And he hands you a charm of detect magic.
Oh. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
And I will get you a stat block thing for your sheet for that here in a bit. But it basically, it has 3 charges, and you can cast detect magic at the cost of 1 charge without using any components.
Any chance of a charm of night vision?
I'll let you know.
If I'm honest, I kind of expected that's what it was, just so we could quit worrying about torches.
So, with that, he thanks you. He he tells you that for first timers to resolve a charge so quickly is impressive. All of you have gone up in standing with us. So thank you for your service. We will pass on new things for you to look into soon.
Great.
I missed it. Did he say if they were reporting it to the Magic Police, or has that not been covered?
He said they would contact
Okay.
the proper
Sorry.
authorities. No, you're fine.
Must have been writing something else down when he said that.
It's
Thanks.
all good. And he thanks you again, and you guys are now standing outside the gates to the Emerald Enclave.
All right, guys. We did it.
It's
We
a yawn
saved
and
the
a
city.
stretch from me. I'm tired. Yeah.
Yep, I think it's time for us to head to home.
Yes, we all could probably use a bath and some sleep.
And some sleep. And get ready for our fancy party coming up in 2 days.
And as you start to stroll away, Methelus, you hear something in your head once again.
Roger here. I've just received word that a young bronze dragon has taken up residence in the naval harbor. It startled a few sailors recently but hasn't hurt anyone. I've had a few potions of water breathing delivered to your establishment. Use them to confront the dragon and learn its intentions.
What did she bring to the establishment?
She said
Potions of water breathing.
Potions of water breathing, yeah.
Oh, potions of water breathing. Okay. Bronze dragons breathe underwater?
And was this Varga as well?
Avadra, yeah.
I will tell the party what has just been told to me by Vadra of the Black Staff, and that there's a bronze dragon in the harbor. Are the metallic
Are we-
dragons still good dragons?
Wait, are we supposed to like do something
depends.
about it, or are we just supposed to go there and look at it? I mean, dragons are cool. We could sit back and watch it do its thing.
Well, she'd like us to figure out what it's doing in the harbor.
Okay, well, let's do
It's
that in the
frightened a few
morning.
peop- Yeah, if we can wait. It's frightened a few people, but it hasn't done any damage yet.
Okay.
I
Well,
I bet they were frightened. Where I come from, dragons are gods. they're no mortal beings, or they're no
really?
animals. Yeah, they're revered as gods. We have these legends about them. So I don't even know what to think about what we're gonna see tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'll
that
give
is
that
future
clap on the back and
Menagerie's
say,
problem.
well, you may know more about bronze dragons than I do then.
Oh my goodness.
All right, heading on home.
And you head on home. You make it back to the manor without any further issues. Heading north past the City of the Dead. And I'm sorry, you guys went to the Emerald Enclave, so you'll head back up into the North Ward, and from there you end at Troll Skull Manor, which is up here.
Are Black Staff and Black Tower the same thing?
Yes.
Yes, the Black Staff.
The Black Staff live in the Black Tower, live and train in the Black Tower. You also get a follow-up message, Mythilus, that with an apology, the information about Neilhur has been verified, and you have all raised 2 ranks in the Black Tower and may seek training and aid and have access to purchase items from them as well.
Wonderful. I figured it was just an oversight. With no sarcasm, actual gratitude. If I can reply, I don't even know if I can reply.
You can.
That's,
Yeah, she says you can reply to this message, and you do. And does anyone have anything to do once you get back to the tavern in what is now probably going on 4:30 in the morning?
Jesus, well, I'm running a bath and washing up.
Yeah, I think that's. Well, he's the only one with a bathtub, I think, isn't he? So I guess or.
That is not true. Leo has one also, and Leo is currently sucked into the blue spark, so he can't complain. Yeah, he's gonna come back and be like, "Why does it look like someone molted in my bathtub?"
Because someone molted in your bathtub.
Woohoo!
So yeah, great. Anyone doing anything else?
I'm going to talk to, I guess, Grinko about setting up some stuff for a surprise birthday party. I was thinking I'd drop off some items and then he set them up while we're away, and we come home and surprise them.
I can do that. Fine.
Cool.
By the way, someone dropped these off for you, and he pulls out
Really?
a crate, and in it are 8 potions of water breathing.
For me?
No, for all of you.
Oh.
They said they were from the Black Staff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for getting that. Did you tip the people? Like, I know you're big about that. Did you tip them?
Of course.
Cool. Good for you. Good for you. All right. Well, I will go ahead and, pass these around, make sure everybody has one, I guess. There's one for everybody, right?
There's one for everybody and 2 for Leo and Autumn, who are not currently here.
Okay. I will make sure Zach get those. That way he can keep a hold of them.
Watering them down. Got it.
He can put them in his pockets. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I have lots actually. I wear a bandolier of pouches.
I know, I'm kidding.
And you have a coat now, and I think coats have pockets.
I had a coat before. I actually have a kilt now.
Oh, okay.
I have a snake skirt.
Are you wearing the coat over the kilt?
Yes? Opposed to the kilt over the coat?
Yeah, as opposed to.
Yeah.
Underwear on the outside.
Well, that just makes you a superhero.
Yep. So you pass those around. Zek has the extra ones. Any other items for this evening?
No, cleaning my
good.
clothes. Going to bed.
Then everyone take a long rest. And that is where we're going to stop for the evening, I think. I know it's a little early, but with the holidays coming upon us, I know we all have lots of stuff to do, so I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. As always, thank you for watching. If you'd like to support us, you can do so on our Twitch stream. If you hit that follow button, you will unlock exclusive emotes that you can't get anywhere else. And, of course, you can also get more exclusive emotes by subbing with bits or subbing to our channel by clicking that subscribe button to become one of our rock stars. On YouTube, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and, of course, the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload new content, which is every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. No matter where you're watching, patreon.com/gamersledge. You can get your name on every single show that we do for as little as $1 a month, like the fine folks that are popping on our screen now, our Patreon and Twitch producers, so thank you to them as well. Thank you to everybody for showing up to play tonight. Thank you for watching, and until next time, be excellent to each other, and game on.
Game on.
Game on.
Closer than ever than before. My life is wasted if I can't spend it all with you. I've lived in total darkness, now you're my only light. When you're away, I feel like a shadow in the night. Hold me, and look into my eyes. You'll be staying always by my side. I'll never let you go. No, I'll never let you go. You stay with me. I'll never let you go. No, I'll never let you go. You stay with me until the end of time. I'll never let you go. No, I'll never let you go. You stay with me. I'll never let you go. No, I'll never let you go. You stay with me until the end of time.
You're watching HM